Putin signed a decree on awarding the title City of Military Glory to Mariupol Donetsk region. Glorious for the Russian army apparently was large-scale destruction, a humanitarian catastrophe it caused, and tens of thousands of civilians killed. Information appeared on the network citing employees of the Ilychivsk morgue that 87,000 deaths were documented in Mariupol. But even this figure is not final, because there are still bodies in the yards and under the rubble.
Мы плаваем.
Immediately after the Russian army occupied Mariupol, Russian authorities promised to rebuild the city, and Kremlin propagandists began spreading materials about repairing buildings, bridges and roads. The Russian Ministry of Construction called the project for the restoration of the destroyed city the master plan for the development of Mariupol until 2035. The occupation authorities claim that work is continuing, but the facts shows the opposite.
One building may have had heating radiators replaced, but no windows, and in another building the roof may be removed, contractors are missing, and it is raining inside the building. It could be that insulation is being done and absolutely absent, windows are bombed, or there are direct hits in the walls and so on. Of course, this does not lead to any result. Only propagandist videos create chaos, and this is the sowing of hope inside the city that something is happening.
Mariupol residents have to survive in apartments without windows and heating, and this despite the fact that the air temperature is already dropping below zero. Citizens leave inscriptions asking for help on the facades of the buildings, balconies and entrances. Meanwhile, the occupation administration is setting up a tent with a potbelly stove in one of the yards of Mariupol and calls it concert that warms action.
People don't have heating, electricity, almost no water. Instead of solving problems, they are given a warming concert. Approximately at this moment, the censorship words end. What's next? Challenge make a skating rink in the bathroom, play snowballs right in the apartment, feel like a polar explorer at home? To what extent can that cynism of the occupation authorities reach? Is there a limit? Petro Andrющенko, advisor to the mayor of Mariupol, on Telegram.
There is a humanitarian crisis in the city. Food and water are delivered, but the majority of Mariupol residents do not have enough money even for basic goods.
What have I become? In the last homeless person. I don't like myself because of the way I look. I have never looked like this. I can't buy him a blade so he can shave. These 10,000 are not enough for anything.
To get at least essential goods, residents of Mariupol stand in queues for hours for humanitarian aid. In the line for bread, Mariupol residents ask for an extra loaf to take to the neighbors, but the Russians refuse. They have an order, one in hand. The city healthcare system is in collapse. There are not enough doctors. Waiting for an ambulance takes several hours, and it is not a fact that it will arrive at all. The prices for medicines are unbearable. The situation is further complicated by unsanitary conditions.
The occupiers disrupted the work of almost all social services, forcibly mobilized workers, and looted the equipment and special equipment of local public utilities. In most of the occupied cities and villages, problems of unsanitary condition have accumulated for a long time. Household waste is not removed, including from the location of Russian units. Maintenance on sewerage system is not carried out, which leads to critical environmental pollution.
Only the liberation of the region can change the situation and save the Mariupol residents. That is why the Russian invaders are preparing for the battle for Mariupol.
They understand the dynamics on the front. There is a clear tendency to the deoccupation of the entire territory of Ukraine, Kharkiv region, Donetsk region, Kherson region. The enemy understands this well. Pavlo Kyrylenko, head of the Donetsk Regional Military Administration, on air of the national telephone.
About 120,000 Ukrainians remain in the occupied and ruined city of Mariupol. Half of them are elderly people. Every week an average of 6 people are born in the city. 150 die. Reported by Roman Smoler, Valeria Nikipelova, UATV News.